Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru and welcome to another pickups video. This is all of my pickups and arrivals for the month of February. It's not nearly as much as I got in March, but there's still some pretty cool stuff, so let's dive in. I happened to stop at one of the Goodwill locations that I frequent, and they had a couple of things that I thought were worth at least picking up. So I grabbed a couple PlayStation games. I got NASCAR Racing, which is the first NASCAR racing game in this series from EA. And then I also got a greatest hits version of WCW Nitro, which of course has Hollywood Hogan on the front. And so yeah, a couple of games there, and a complete copy of Mario and Andretti Racing for the Sega Genesis. Not a big racing guy, but a friend of mine is, and I thought, if nothing else, this is something that I could lend him to give him the opportunity to maybe cover this in a series he's doing on racing games, so we'll see. I stopped by another Goodwill and randomly picked up this game called Cubics, Robots for Everyone. I've never heard of this, but it's by 3DO, and I guess it's based on a cartoon or a children's show, as seen on Kids WB. So yeah, that was apparently a thing in the 90s, it looks like, or the early 2000s, 2001. So yeah, check this one out and see what that's all about. While I was in that same area, I stopped by a game store just up the street from where that is, and I picked up a few things. Got to scratch a couple more Game Boy games off the list. Not heavy hitters in the classic sense, but certainly games that are a bit more on the expensive side compared to $5 or $8 carts. So, I got Contra, the Alien Wars, the Game Boy take, I guess you could say, on Contra 3 for the Super NES, and Darkwing Duck. So, coming out strong with Konami and Capcom, and glad to scratch these off the list. I also picked up a random Sega Genesis game, and that is Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf, and might seem a little random to grab an early Genesis sports game, but the reason why I grabbed it may become a little bit more clear later in the video, if you can put two and two together. I got a few things in the mail as well. Earlier in the month, I decided to go down the import rabbit hole, and I got my first import for the Sony PlayStation, and that is Raiden DX. So now I have the Raiden Project and Raiden DX. I don't have the Japanese version of the Raiden Project, but this at least gets me Raiden DX, so that once I get myself a Japanese PlayStation 1, I'll be able to fire this up and start playing it. So looking forward to checking that one out. I also got a few things here that I'll just kind of show in succession. I got a complete copy of Fantasy Zone for the Sega Master System. This is one I've been after for a while and happened to find a really good deal on it. So I jumped at the chance. I also happened to find a really good deal on a complete in-box copy of Fantasy Zone for the NES. This is, of course, the Tengen NES port, which one of the things that I didn't know about the Tengen games, because I've never owned a box copy of one before, is that it's got the manual in here that you can see, but then instead of just the styrofoam insert, they each have their own cool little box, inner box. So this has a styrofoam insert in it so that you can see the title and grip the little grippy handle portion here on the back. but it has this Tengen seal of quality, which is interesting, since these did not have the Nintendo seal of quality, given that all the Tengen games in the black cartridges are, in fact, unlicensed. So I thought that was an interesting little thing to note in the box here. Very glad to have that. To complement that, I also picked up Fantasy Zone for the Famicom. Now that I have the AVS and I have the ability to play Famicom games, I thought, hey, why not go for the Famicom version? Because it's a different game than the Tengen release. Funny enough, it is by Sunsoft, as you can see here. So this is a different game than what we got in North America. And of course I couldn't stop there, so I just had to have Fantasy Zone for the TurboGrafx 16. Because why not? And so, yeah, even has the nice little Hue card, or I guess they were called Turbo Chips in North America. The Turbo Chip sleeve. So, pretty cool to have all of these Fantasy Zone games, and I wonder why I'm now all of a sudden getting all these Fantasy Zone games. It might have something to do with a future Shmup Club playthrough, possibly? I guess you'll just have to wait and see. But possible foreshadowing there. I got a couple of boxes in the mail a little over a week ago. And something that I had pre-ordered a while back, and that is Psycho, Shooting Stars, Bravo, Alpha and Bravo. So let's tear into these bad boys real quick. And have a peek. These are, of course, the conversions that have already been out on the eShop and were already released in Asian territory, and then there was a Japanese release of these games as well. I did not buy the Japanese release, but I already had the other, and so this is the Shooting Stars Alpha. Very nice looking box there, and good little art there. Here's the slipcover there with info on the back, and I'm assuming, well, let's see here. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is pretty sweet. So you've got Alpha Code Blue. This is the CD soundtracks for several games. This has the music for Strikers 1945, 1945-2, and 1945-3, as well as Soul Divide, Dragon Blaze, and Zero Gunner 2. This is the primary reason why I sprung for these collections, so that I could have the actual music. Then, of course, you have the game itself in this nice little deal. Actually, why don't I just pop this guy out and show it off. Since it's NIS America, has the ESRB stuff on it, and has the info on the back there. And also has this little package which has these cool art cards. So some Strikers love there. There's some Strikers 2 with the flying pancake there in the corner. Here we have, of course, Dragon Blaze. Whoops. Dropping stuff already. Strikers 3, aka Strikers 1999, with the modern jets there. Soul Divide. And a second Dragon Blaze card. I wonder why they chose to do two Dragon Blaze cards and not not do a Zero Gunner or Zero Gunner 2 card. Interesting. So that is Shooting Stars Alpha. And we'll just quickly set this stuff aside here so I can go in and show you Shooting Stars Bravo! And this, here's the slip cover. And again, the nice looking box there. Really nice, classy look on the front there. And then representations of all the games. Once again, here is Bravo, Code Red. Soundtracks for Samurai Aces Episode 1, Samurai Aces 2 or Tengai, Samurai Aces 3, Sengoku Canon, as well as Gunbird and Gunbird 2. Curiously enough, Gunbarish is not included. I don't know if that's because it doesn't have as much music or if it was licensed. I haven't got around to playing that one yet, so I do not know what the reason for that was. Of course, you have the game itself here. Again, the US release, rated T for teen, from NIS America. And here's the screenshots and information about all the games there. And another set of these nice little art cards, which is different than what came with, as far as I know, what came with the Japanese release or the Asian region release. So, oh wow. So we have several pieces here. Let's see here. That's going to be Gunbird. And I do believe that's going to be Gunbird 2. Or no, that's probably... No, that's Gunbird as well. Interesting. There's Gunbarish. This would be for the original Sengoku Ace. And then I do believe this is Tengai. And this is Sengoku Canon, if I'm not mistaken. I will have to double check that. So, Psycho, Shooting Stars, Alpha, and Bravo. Nice packages. You know, simple, but has good stuff inside. Now, of course, I'm aware that these ports are somewhat dubious in quality. I know there's been... You know, they have a little bit of extra lag, etc., but they are the only available legal ports right now. The ones that come from City Connection, who now owns the IPs. So, in order to show that there's still an interest in this stuff, I want to make sure and support it, at least marginally. I also picked up something here that I purchased via PlayAsia, and it came in the mail the other day, and that is Sisters Royale for the PlayStation 4. This is the Japanese release, and it says there, for Japan only on the back. And that's since the PS4 is region free. But But this is a new game from Alpha System, who some of you may be familiar with from the Shikigami no Shiro series. And this game is essentially a Shikigami no Shiro game in all but name, in a lot of ways. The functionality is essentially the same. So yeah, let's see here. I'm not going to show off the inside because there is a DLC code to get the extra character. But yeah, Sisters Royale. This is coming out again. This is coming out. It's been out on the Switch digitally, and it's coming out physically on the Switch and PS4 through strictly limited games. And so it'll be interesting to see those once those come out. But for now, I have the Japanese PS4 release. And finally, the other thing that I got in that same package from PlayAsia is Powerumi. This is their exclusive PS4 physical release through their East Asia Soft imprint. And let's just have a look at this guy. This is a game that found a degree of acclaim on Switch and PC. So we have the nice sticker there that came on the front. Limited edition. And there's the back of the box there. See if I can break the plastic here and get this open without damaging it. There we go. So right away, I dig when companies do this. The box has the logo is a little bit embossed and has a little bit of that raised feel to it. So I always enjoy that because that's a nice touch for collectors and nerds like myself. So we've got a certificate. I have number 83 out of 2000, so I must have ordered pretty early there. And very colorful artwork of different ships in the game. Of course, we have the base game itself. It's a little hard with the plastic there to get a good picture of that. Maybe I'll open that here in a sec. And this came with the original soundtrack as well, which has this awesome design on the front and spine card, which is kind of cool. So yeah, really awesome to have that. Let me go ahead and open this just to break in and see what we've got. All right, here we go. Oh, very nice. So it's got a reversible cover, which is cool. Or I guess you could say just inner art. It's not really reversible in the strictest sense because it's just an inlay art, but still pretty cool design. I like the art style. Okay. And a manual. How about that? other than a lot of these limited releases, these are becoming quite the rarity these days. So I always like to see these when you buy a game. I always like to see manuals that actually show off the game and explain. And of course, this game, my understanding of this game is similar to Ikaruga's polarity system. This game has a 3-weapon system where there's a certain degree of push and pull between the different weapons. And so hitting certain enemies with a certain color weapon type will cause one effect, and then hitting them with the other weapon type will cause a different effect. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. Always love seeing a manual in new games. So, very cool. Glad to see this. Definitely enjoy receiving these cool things in the mail. Oh, and of course that's too big to fit in the game case, so I'll just have to put it in the box with the rest of this stuff. But yeah, really awesome to get these kinds of things and have the extra little goodies that guys like I can geek out on. So anyway, that's all I have to show you for all my February pickups and arrivals. What do you guys think out of this stuff? What is the stuff that you would play first? What stuff do you think is maybe interesting and I should take a look at? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing so you can see more of my videos in your YouTube feed. I'll have a link in the description below where you can check out my blog and read all my Game Boy game reviews. That is gameboyguru.blogspot.com. Also have a look at Nira's channel. I'll have that in a title card or in one of these corners that you can take a look at. He provided the Super Mario Land overworld music that I use as the intro for a lot of my videos. And he has a bunch of other great chiptune and game music covers as well, so please go check those out. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and game on.